There are three things that hold their value in inflation and do okay in a recession. Masterwork paintings, incredible mansions, and then gold. Now, do you brush your teeth in a recession? Do you wash your hair if you have some in a recession? Absolutely. What you don't stop doing and using in a recession, that's a fabulous way to try to figure out what stocks to buy. When you want to invest in a great growth stock, you need to know yourself. My daughter, she was driving from Oregon to LA, and she was amazed that she rented a Tesla, and it was easy to fill up. And she said to me, Dad, it was the most fun car in the world. And I frankly said, I don't know, the stock's a fortune. It's a fortune. And she goes, Dad, I like Tesla, and I'm going to do my work. And I believe in Elon Musk. And I think that you're biased. I think that you're not young. I think you don't know what fun is in a car. I'm going to save up to own a Tesla, and I want to buy the stock of Tesla. Tesla went up 10 times. She had conviction, she did the work, and she bought it. Now, she didn't have any money. She was a counselor for troubled youth. She put $200 in it, but it's worth a great deal. And I think that the takeaway here is, do you like it? And then you do the work. So you first must get comfortable with what the company is. And then I want you to read the annual. Okay, I'm not even going to tell you to read the conference calls. I want you to read the annual. Take a long-term view. I want you to be comfortable with the company itself because we're buying shares of companies here. We're not renting shares of speculation. And a lot of people get those confused. Now, if you listen to my daughter's success story, you may say, oh, come on, that's 1 in a million. Well, it's not. There are Teslas all over the place. Now, Tesla's extreme, but how about Apple? You like their products, you use their phone. Good example. It's gone up thousands of percent, and everybody had a chance to look at it. Netflix, you thought it was a diskette, turned out to be a streaming service. You made fortunes. Alphabet, thought it was search, didn't realize it was YouTube. Next thing you know, it's advertising. Next thing you know, it's what's called first-party way to sell ads. And all these were within your ken, so to speak. All these could have been found. When they go down and you don't believe in them, you sell. So you would have done the equivalent of buy high and sell low. Cardinal sin. So yes, I know that you're probably saying Tesla's the greatest stock ever, and it is. And by no means am I saying if you buy a stock and it's a good stock but it's not Tesla, you're a failure. I am saying that you need to be on the hunt for a Tesla, but don't get discouraged if it isn't Tesla, because there may only be one Tesla in history. If you're a young person and you're thinking about crypto, I think it's smart. I think crypto should be part of a person's diversified portfolio. I can't tell you not to own crypto. I own crypto. I own Ethereum. Why did I buy Ethereum? Because I was in a bidding auction for charity to buy what was known as an NFT. And they wouldn't let me do dollars. I had to buy it in Ethereum. So I researched it, and I said, well, got some qualities I like. Scarcity value, not as hot, so to speak, as Bitcoin. So I bought it. These are hope securities. Now, I don't like hope. I think you should not ever invest on hope. But these are speculative. And one of the things that I teach in my classrooms is it's okay to own something that's speculative. You must admit that it's speculative so you don't put it in the Procter & Gamble class. It's not Coca-Cola. It's not Apple. But I suggest and accept speculation. Now, when I started Mad Money, I said I think you should own a spec and I think you should own a gold stock. And ever since crypto came along, I have said that instead of, say, 10% being gold, 5% should be gold, and 5% should be crypto. What do I think is the value of crypto? I have no idea. Here's what I know you're thinking, though. You're thinking, I have seen fortunes made in crypto, and I want a shot at making a fortune. And unlike many of the so-called graybeards who come on TV, I agree with you. You have every right to try to make some money in crypto. I would prefer that you would do it in Ethereum or Bitcoin, which have the largest following, seem like they're the most legitimate. I would be careful not to borrow money, as many people do, to own these, because these are speculative, and I don't even like borrowing for money. Can't live in Bitcoin, can't live in your house. It's not a mortgage, it's a piece of paper. Or in this case, it's not even a piece of paper. So I don't want any borrowing on this. Borrow for your house, borrow for your car, but don't borrow for crypto. But I would never discourage you from buying crypto because of all the fortunes that have been made in it, and how it could make a whole new group of people fortunes. I'd like that to be you. Lots of people are worried. They think we're headed toward a recession. I totally get that. I like for you to think about what you don't stop doing and using in a recession. And that's a fabulous way to try to figure out what stocks to buy. We're raising rates. Fed's very worried about how hot the economy is. So what happens? People then say, recession, I better go to cash. Wrong. What you need to say to yourself is, recession, what companies have historically done well in a recession? Do you brush your teeth in a recession? Do you wash your hair if you have some in a recession? Absolutely. If you decide that you're going to stop doing those in a recession, then yeah, sure, don't buy Procter & Gamble. But Procter & Gamble, which just increased its dividend for, 60 years, does great in recession. Coca-Cola. Do you know that sales don't go down in a recession? Beer goes up in a recession. So there's Constellation Brands. They make Modelo, Corona. Maybe you've had a Pacifico. When you go down those supermarket aisles, what are you buying no matter what? We're talking about things called staples. And staples are things that you need regardless of the economy. And that is what you're looking for. So let's say you do what I did. I gave money every month, but if things look really troubled, I held back for a month. That's been my investing philosophy for my 401k and IRA since I started. My IRA started in 1978. If I thought it looked really bad, I waited. But I've always made sure that I made that contribution by year end. So a recession should not dissuade you from investing, but it might dissuade you from investing as much money as you would during an expansion. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Now, a lot of people are worried about inflation. And we have inflation. Our inflation is so bad that everyone in the Federal Reserve realizes, the money managers realize, they're concerned. I believe in gold, and gold goes up and holds its value in a recession. There are three things that hold their value in inflation and do okay in a recession. Masterwork paintings, incredible mansions, and then gold. Now, you can own gold in many ways. One is you can own a GDX, that is a made-up ETF security that tracks gold. Second, you can own gold funds. There's usually junior funds or senior funds. I own a senior gold fund. Or you could buy the physical gold. Now, the problem with the physical gold is it could get stolen. So then you got the cost of a safety deposit box. But physical gold is the cheapest way to do it. And so even though it has a deposit box charge, it's pretty good. Now, inflation does erode the value of a lot of things. And we count on the Federal Reserve to try to control it. But what you can say to yourself is, I have cash and I'll be ready when the inflation scare or inflation gets crushed. Now, 3 years after I first started investing in the 77, 78 period, interest rates went out of control because the Federal Reserve chairman decided he had to break inflation. At 20%, they broke inflation. Next thing you know, just a few months later, the greatest bull market in history began. One of the problems I have with people who talk a lot about the market is they look at things now and they make predictions based on that. They'll say we have raging inflation, only going to get worse. I look at it as there's inflation and I'm looking for bargains. And maybe there's some bargains that are created by inflation. And those are the ones I want to be in.